we'll do our dance at the tavern with the bards who've traveled far, and we'll ask them of the places they've seen. Come away, adventure calls today, and tomorrow we'll tell of our tale. Come away, we'll see that dragon slain, but before we go, let's drink one more ale. I feel the call of the wolf far outside, and the glory that soon could be ours. Let's form a team and we'll take to the wild, and we won't burn down the tavern. No, we won't burn down the tavern. No, we won't burn down the tavern. Come away, adventure calls today, and tomorrow we'll tell of our tale. Come away, we'll see that dragon slain, but before we go, let's dream. But before we go, let's dream. But before we go, let's dream. One more ale. We've come on down to the tavern for trouble and for fun, and to talk about the old prophecy. And we all sing songs at the tavern of the fights that we have won, and we dream about our next victory. Come away, adventure calls today, and tomorrow we'll tell of our tale. Come away, we'll see that dragon slain, but before we go, let's drink one more ale. Well, we won't burn down the tavern like the times we did before. It was not our fault, we swear honestly, but we'll do our dance at the tavern with the bards who've traveled far, and we'll ask them of the places they've seen. Come away, adventure calls today, and tomorrow we'll tell of our tale. Come away, we'll see that dragon slain, but before we go, let's drink one more ale. I feel the call of the wolf far outside, and the glory that soon could be ours. Let's form a team and we'll take to the wild, and we won't burn down the tavern. No, we won't burn down the tavern. No, we won't burn down the tavern. Come away, adventure calls today, and tomorrow we'll tell of our tale. Come away, we'll see that dragon slain, but before we go, let's dream. But before we go, let's dream. But before we go, let's dream. One more ale. We've come on down to the tavern for trouble and for fun, and to talk about the old prophecy. And we all sing songs at the tavern of the fights that we have won, and we dream about our next victory. Come away, adventure calls today, and tomorrow we'll tell of our tale. Come away, But we won't burn down the tavern like the times we did before. It was not our fault, we swear honestly. But we'll do our dance at the tavern with the bards who've traveled far, and we'll ask them other places they've seen. Come away, come away, adventure calls today, and tomorrow we'll tell of our tale. Come away, we'll see that dragon slain, but before we go, let's drink one more ale. I feel the cold over outside, and the glory that soon could be ours. Let's form a team and we'll take to the wild, and we won't burn down the tavern. No, we won't burn down the tavern. No, we won't burn down the tavern. Come away, adventure calls today, and tomorrow we'll tell of our tale. Come away, we'll see that dragon slain, but before we go, let's dream. But before we go, let's dream. But before we go, let's dream. One more ale. We've come on down to the tavern for trouble and for fun, and to talk about the old prophecy. And we all sing songs at the tavern of the fights that we have won, and we dream about our next victory. Come away, adventure calls today, and tomorrow we'll tell of our tale. Come away, we'll see that dragon slain, but before we go, let's drink one more ale. Well, we won't burn down the tavern like the times we did before. It was not our fault, we swear honestly. But we'll do.
What up, team? Happy office hours. I hope you're having a good Tuesday. Let me know if I'm coming in too loud or not. Boy, we have an action-packed office hours. I'm excited. Also, while you tell me if this sounds right, let's go ahead and do the obligatory Valentine display. Valentine, show me your haircut. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that pop. Volume is good. Okay, great. Yes, say hi to everyone. Okay, good job. Okay, you can go back to your chair. Team, we have so much to cover today. Let me go and open up my list. Okay. Answering any more Q&As about the sales tax that is coming May 1st. Talking about the new PDP page. Talking about the system specifics campaign that's coming. The 300 blog post campaign. Pay app booking test, genre pages, mechanics pages, credit payouts. I talked about this 2 weeks ago, but I just want to update you on what's happening there. We already talked about the Adventure Activate email. We're talking about starter set, GM application, transactional email updates, the DST bug, Darrington Press, Gen Con, core directory page, magicifying messages, and adventure SEO controls. We can't hear Valentine. Okay, so first, adventure SEO controls. We are going to be adding something into adventure or template. I can't remember which one. Nick, you're in the chat, so if you want to let us know, is it on the adventure or is it on the template? But either way, you'll be able to actually change the metadata on your game listing for when you share a link other places. It'll also determine how your links show up in Google. So usually when you write a title, that title that you write for your game is the title description when you share the link. So when you share the link, it says whatever your title is. The image that you upload is usually the image that you see when you share the link. You could actually now, once we launch this, the image could be different from the one you're using on Start Playing. And then the title could be different from the title you're using on Start Playing. So this will be for how it shows up when you share it on iMessage, Discord, how it shows up in Google, etc. And will be on the template. Thank you, Nick. So this will be coming soon. This just kind of gives you, the GM, a little more control about how your games are shown externally and how they show up in Google. Okay. And remember, if you have questions, put question in all caps and then your question. One of the reasons why we are given that level of SEO control is because tons of adventures show up in Google search. I would say maybe 8% of organic traffic goes to those adventures because Start Playing has such strong search engine presence. Your game listings end up getting weighted quite highly. So we've actually seen some adventures weighted more highly than like the actual like publisher's website, which is cool for people who are looking for your games. Magicifying messages. So magicifying messages is when you go and you message someone that doesn't use our design system. Our design system is called Magic the Design System. And so when we move things to a design system, it allows us to use similar components so that the site all has a similar look. You've seen over time as we've updated parts of the site and they have a more cohesive look to them. That's because they're using our new design system. It's not even new anymore. It was like a year, 2 years old now, maybe. But when we go and we magicify something, that's where we take something that didn't have our design system and we apply it to it. So essentially, it's kind of like refactoring that page. The design system should make the messages page more user-friendly. It's not adding any features. It's literally just trying to improve the UI to our current design system. So that should be coming probably in the next 2 weeks. Core directory page. Core directory page. Let's see. Let me see if I can pull this up and show you what it looks like. Back to files. I'm going to pull this up in Figma. Build handoff, SEO, search engine optimization, and then core directory page. So, you've seen that we have the most popular game systems listings on the homepage, right? Where you can, if you click into it, you can see all the different game systems. In fact, I'll go ahead and show you all again, just so we all know what I'm talking about. All right, go ahead and we want to share Google Chrome, Start Playing. Okay, so if I make this smaller, all right, so you see here, browse popular tabletop RPG systems. This, of course, is ranked by popularity. If I click on browse all game systems, it takes me to this directory page. So this is a directory page for all game systems. We're going to have a directory page for all of our different directory pages. So let's see. Is this the right one? This is the right one. No, is it? Keep going to directory page. Here we go. All right. Also apologize for my many, many tabs. Let's ignore those tabs. Oh no! I crashed Google Chrome with all my tabs. There we go. Okay, it's back up. Directory. Here we go. So a directory page will look like this. It'll have all the different directories on it. So you'll have game systems, then you'll have genres and themes, then you'll have platforms. So every time we build a new directory, we will have represented in our core directory pages. So when we have games by setting, games by platform, games by game style, things like play by post, you'll see that all represented in the core directory page. Now, why are we doing this? It's really great for SEO, but it's also just another way that users can navigate in more by like a collection page experience. We'll talk about play by post at the end here. Okay, Gen Con. Again, if you are going to Gen Con, we will probably for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday have a professional photographer that will be doing exclusively headshots for professional dungeon masters on Start Playing. So we will be giving priority to GMs who've already run games on Start Playing. So if you're at Gen Con and you like sign up for an account on Start Playing to get in, there might not be any slots. We're going to be opening up slots before Gen Con. You can go and book the time you want to do your headshot. You can come to where we'll be set up, get your photo taken. Having a photo of yourself on your GM profile is fantastic. Like, you will get more bookings if it's a photo of yourself smiling. The service providers who have a photo of themselves smiling tend to have a higher conversion rate than those who don't. And then the Gen Con Start Playing happy hour will be on Thursday. So make sure that you have Thursday blocked off to attend. Yeah, it's going to be a riot team. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Yes, those are the days we're likely to have for doing photo shoots. Yeah, see, Eric gets it. They're a professional photographer too. They understand that. Okay, Darrington Press team. I have a call later today with Darrington Press. We've signed the paperwork. We are officially partnering with them on the launch of something exciting. I can't give you any more details right now, but it should be exciting. And it's a very, it should be a very big launch. Actually, well, you already know. We already put up the interest form. Yes, we're partnering with Daggerheart. So if you've already filled out that form, you'll be part of it. It's going to be Daggerheart, Demiplane, and us, and it's going to be huge. I'm so pumped. We're going to be talking a lot about kind of the strategies we'll be employing. I'm talking to their team later today, and it's going to be, I think it's going to be one of our biggest events of the year. I'm really excited. Simple Fox, what about exaggerated faces? YouTube thumbnails seem to exceed when they're not necessarily smiling, but surprised or excited somehow. So that's kind of a different, like the YouTube thumbnail versus the service provider, two different things, right? And I wouldn't use the YouTube data against the service provider data, because people who are like booking with homes or they're booking with like other service providers, they want to book with someone who they see as smiling or kind, or think of it this way. You're picking someone to play with. You want them to be fun. You want them to be nice, right? So if you're like like a serious face, that might not be super welcoming. So I don't think a super exaggerated face is necessarily the win. And that's talking about having a profile photo that is of yourself. But yeah, we have a big Daggerheart problem. I mean, not problem. Event. And if you've already participated, you should have all the details on like when that is, and that sign up form went out. But I'll be talking to them later today. Hey, don't you bark. Come here. Come on. It's just someone at the door. All right. I know. It's so hard. Sorry. Okay. Let's see what else. That's Darrington Press. DSC bug. So DSC launched pretty well. We fixed almost all of the problems. We did have a problem with, I think it was BST. It was like London time. And then we are still, we have one more bug that we're working on, which is like which is a time bug on search. But that's getting fixed as well. It's on our list, and it's something we've been working through. Transactional Valentine's mic is now working. Let's see. Transactional email updates. So we're launching transactional emails that all have the same style guide. Before, our emails were kind of just made by us on a whim, and we haven't updated any of our transactional emails since we made them, really. I think we updated them once to change the color because we used to have a red logo and now it's a blue logo. So we changed that. But now all of our emails are going to give a more cohesive look. After doing a little bit of research, it helps with new users to build a lot of trust in the brand because the identity is the same across the board. Okay. Let's see, what else do we have? GM application. This is still going on. We're still working on this, but the GM application is going to be kind of a test to see if we kind of like limit who we allow to apply. If we can find some of the folks that are like the bottom 5, bottom 10% that are kind of providing the worst experience for users. It's really funny. A lot of people often ask, hey, I don't see a lot of GMs who have bad reviews on Start Playing. And that's like there's a few reasons for that, right? One, it used to be a binary review system. You used to be able to thumbs up someone or thumbs down them. And so when we changed to a 5-star system, we just turned every thumbs up into a 5-star review and every thumbs down into a 3-star review, because at any time a player can go and re-review you. So that's why like a lot of people just had 5-star reviews. But at the same time, people who are bad on the platform, they usually get 3 bad reviews in a row. And that usually then them thinks to themselves, you know what, I don't want to do this. And so it's one of these, there's also, it's kind of similar to the idea of like the startup tar pit. A lot of times you're like, oh, I have a great idea for a startup, but I don't see anyone else that's doing it. And sometimes because no one else is in the industry, or because, you might think to yourself, like, this is a complete fantastic opportunity because no one else is taking advantage of it. And what it is all those companies that have done it have already failed, and there's just no evidence they exist. So that's kind of one of the main reasons why you don't see a lot of variance in reviews. But there is some stuff we're thinking about in the future to like maybe have a pretty dynamic review system. It allows you to get reviewed on a bunch of different things and kind of show the player like, hey, you really value this. This GM is like highly rated for that specifically. Kind of like how we use the accolades, the rule of cool, knows the rules, that kind of stuff. But right now, that's one of the reasons. So the GM application is still being worked on. Okay. Starter sets. Hey, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Okay. Go. The starter set. I would like all of you to take a moment and bow your heads for a quiet moment of silence to remember starter set. For starter set will be shutting down. Okay, thank you. So, starter set. We learned that 60% of people that ended up booking in starter set were actually booking on starter set games on search. They weren't even going through the funnel. And that led us to that our D&D Dannies, right? What we call them. A D&D Danny is someone who is brand new to D&D, and they just have a lot of, they want a lot of control in what they explore. So they would use the filtering systems because they wanted a little more options. And our search just converts so well that it just does better than the funnel that we created. Now, what did we learn? We learned that when we restricted certain things, those games had a higher booking rate on search. So when we resulted into a title that was just Learn to Play D&D or Learn to Play Dungeons & Dragons, that had a much higher booking than we saw in a lot of other games that were Learn to Play, because it was so specific and it didn't have a lot of proper nouns in it, things that would confuse a player. If you had a Phandelver and Below one-shot, that might confuse a new person because like, I don't know what a Phandelver and Below is. But I do know that I want to learn to play D&D. So one of the best things I would recommend to you is, if you do Learn to Play D&D one-shot, making it 2 hours or less. That's a huge thing we noticed. Those games had a lot of bookings because people were hesitant to book. Starter set restrictions seemed to convert really highly, but more people were booking through search than they were the funnel. So think about all those restrictions that we had, and think about how you could apply them to your game. Making sure that your title is, even if it's really, I guess, basic because it's just learn to play D&D, right? But learn to play D&D is completely fine because the person who wants to find that, they're just looking for the time that works for them, and that is what they're looking for. So you don't have to add a lot to that. And learn to play D&D already kind of insinuates beginner friendly. So think about these things. Now, what's going to happen with the current starter set flow? Well, you will still be able to create adventures and templates, or you'll still be able to create adventures using it. You can still edit your template. We're going to remove a lot of the restrictions from it, but the funnel will no longer funnel people into these games. Instead, they'll just be available in search. If you go to the starter set landing page and you go through the quiz, it will actually just shoot you into a result of the search page instead of booking you into a single game. So those are kind of the changes to expect. That way, the traffic that is already coming to these pages will still be going somewhere, and you don't have to. If you still have starter set games out, they're still likely to book. We still find these games booking at really high rates. The conversion rate for a starter set game is still really, really high. Just the funnel doesn't work as well as search does. Let's see. Question. Never mind, lol. Okay. Chris Winnie wants to know, when can we review players? Probably never, unless we see players change their habits. And I'm going to tell you why, Chris. This is I know I'm going a little bit off topic because we're talking about starter set. 60% of players never play with more than one GM. I think it's something like the other percent of players, only 3% of players play with 5 or more GMs. So for the most part, if you reviewed players, they would have one review. And we know that would actually probably put them at a disservice towards GMs that are like, well, they only got one review. This doesn't feel like enough. It feels like a big product for a problem that isn't necessarily there. Now, you should be reporting bad players that have skip on payment, players that do not play well with others, that kind of stuff. But right now, it doesn't seem like the ability to review players will actually be as impactful as it once thought was, because we actually did start to consider this, and that's why we did this research. So most players have played with one GM. The second most players have played with 2. And then there's a small amount that have played with 5 or more. But for the most part, players only play with one GM. Okay. Let's see. Credit payouts. I don't think this is updated yet, but if you have cash and credit in your account, we are changing how that credit is recognized. Now, if someone has credit from a refund or by buying a gift card, that will not be considered the same credit that shows up in payout. The payout will only be referral credit. So if I referred you to the Start Playing and you got that $10 referral, only that will be counted in that payout section. So right now there's when you pay out, only 15% of your payout can include credit. And this is just to prevent fraud. This should eliminate most people's issues with having to reach out to support to go ahead and switch that credit into cash. And it dramatically. Huge thanks to the CX team for figuring this out. Or for walking through and kind of laying out the details of this. And then, of course, Eng team for coming up with a really good solution. Simple Fox, is it possible that a GM attachment is caused by the length of the average campaign? Is it possible that GM attachment is caused by the length of the average campaign? So, Simple Fox, no, because we will see players that will book again with that same GM. So it's not even just the length of the campaign. It's like they will continue to play with them. They'll book in a second game, or they'll move from one game to another if their schedule has a problem. People are, and then usually those people will only end up booking another GM if their GM stops running games. Or if the GM stops running games or they're removed from the platform. The stickiness of player to platform is really, really high. But when they find a great GM, they end up sticking with that GM. But also, the stickiness of great GMs is really, really high too, as far as the retention rates. Okay. Let's see what else we got. That's credit payouts. Okay. I think we talked about this last week, but we are going to be launching in the next 2-3 weeks mechanic pages. So that'll be for like all Powered by the Apocalypse games, all D20 system games, all D100 system games, all D6 system games, all Storyteller system games. Essentially, we'll have landing pages for all the different types of mechanics that are used in the different games. So there'll be an OSR games, there'll be Powered by Morkborg, there'll be um, Essence 20, and a bunch of others. So we will start launching the mechanic pages. And also we'll start launching genre pages. Genre pages like horror tabletop RPGs, superhero tabletop RPGs. They'll then be populated by GMs and games of those types of genres. Um, let's see. Simple Fox. So it's interesting, but the thing is, that's not a problem. Um, Players have this huge retention with platform and GMs, but they're not facing a problem of like I need to find a new GM. When they do, the solution already exists for them, which is start playing because they're like, oh, when we've interviewed people, like what happens? Like, oh, my GM they their work changed, so they had to go back and they couldn't run this game anymore. So I found a new GM and start playing. Um, so most of the like that's not really a problem we have to solve because it's already being solved. Genre pages. Okay, booking, paying at checkout. Team. This isn't happening anytime soon, but we will be running a test to see the implications and the hit to conversion to pay at checkout. So pay at checkout would mean that like if I'm booking into a game and the game is active and the game happens next week and I book, I'm charged for the first session. And then afterwards, I'm charged at game time. But essentially kind of like a reservation charge that just like holds it. So it can be refunded. Doesn't go to the GM yet. It's kind of just held in escrow. It's something we're going to be exploring to see if that helps with our onboarding rates. Now, again, our onboarding rates is I book in a game and then I am charged in that game because it happens. Now, we feel that we'll also be able to identify more GMs who are using active games inappropriately. Some GMs use active games still in recruitment mode and not in recruiting mode. They just continue to skip. This is going to slowly get identified because that's not how, like, if the game is active, the player should be playing that first scheduled session that is coming after they join. If not, the GM is using the essentially search manipulation. So that's something that we'll be launching with pay at checkout just for the first session. Now, it's an A/B test. We're going to see if the people who go through this A/B test also have a higher onboarding rate than regular players. If that's the case, it'll be great. Now, we do have around 3% of players who are notorious for booking into multiple games, and they're wondering which one's going to fire. We hope that this also helps solve some of those issues if it is successful and we end up launching it. Adam Henbeck, question, are we able to post more generic game listings? Like I can run a Curse of Strahd around the Frostmaiden or Phandelver and below at 6 p.m. Saturday night, I have to pick a game. So Adam, that's a terrible idea. No, not a terrible idea. Let me tell you why we kind of moved away from that. Because we did experiment with this early on with a games on demand. Had very low bookings, and people ended up having multiple interests. So like one person would book and say like, I want Rime of the Frostmaiden. One person would book like, I want Descent into Avernus. Then the GM would essentially have to let one of them go and run with the other one. The other one's like, oh, I don't really want to play that. Or they would, and then they would drop later because they would find a Descent of Avernus. So the more assertive you are with what you plan to run, the better. Shitness. So when I say 3%, 3% of bookings, not 3% of users. Pay at booking test. So that is the pay at booking test that we hope to be running soon. We are almost done with our 300 blog post project. Actually, I'm going to show y'all something really cool. Damian, are we seeing any negative impact to paid player population due to sales tax, and or will this be tracked for reporting purposes? Of course. What are you talking about? Like, we're a business. Of course we're going to track this stuff. But we don't anticipate anything like higher than like a 1% attrition because of this. For example, we also don't know every place on that list and like what it's actually going to entail. We just know that those are potential places on that list. Once everything's finished and we kind of know, we'll have a better idea. But I doubt we're going to see more than 1% attrition. Even when we raised our processing fees, we didn't see a lot of attrition. This is also based off of what our pros have told us about other companies who've gone through this process. So I'm not that concerned about it. I know there's always going to be some, but also I don't think it's going to affect our new user sign up either, based off tests that we've run where we've removed processing fee and we've shown processing fee. Thanks, Jonathan. But I mean, we will be tracking it. And if we see the same kind of success, I'll be talking about here in office hours. DM Dan Quisote. So there's a list that's on the FAQ. Not everything on the list actually means that those will carry a tax. Those are just places that are included in the audit to see if that would be required. So some places will not have a tax at all. So not everything on that list actually means that that place will have a tax. It just means that that place we have to do an analysis to see if we will need to. DM Dan, let me know if that makes sense. Quixote, thank you, Shidness. Thank you so much, Quixote. DM Dan, let me know if that makes sense. Okay, I'm going to show y'all something pretty cool here if I can pull this up. Yeah, give me that book. I'm actually about to read Movable Feast. Me and Nate, the CEO of Start Playing, we're going to do a book club. We're going to read Movable Feast by Ernest Hemingway. But maybe we can read Quixote next. He loves classic literature. Nate loves classic literature. He's like always reading Jane Eyre or something like that. Okay, check this out, team. This is, hate bringing this up, current events, politics. But as an international, is there anything about whether we can expect current economic turmoil to immediately affect our experience? So we haven't seen there's been a lot of economic uncertainty for the last 3 months. We haven't seen a big trend either way. We did see a one-day trend on April 4th, which a lot of tariffs were instituted, and we saw about a 10% dip. The next day, it was business as usual. Our conversion rate was the same. So I think, a lot of times, like, the news will affect people. We haven't seen a downturn in international players. So I don't think this is something that is being affected. Oh, I see. Oh, I see a baby and a dog. For those of you who don't know, I became a dad last month. And I shared this office with my young son, so we're roommates actually. Okay, so I don't, but also, like, that's me to kind of ascertain the economic tailwinds that are above us is beyond me. I am no oracle, but I can tell you the evidence we have so far. We haven't seen huge swings, positive or negative, from that. Thank you so much for your congratulations. So Dan says, sadly not, there is so much vagueness in potential places that has not been addressed with the communications, especially if there's a lot of international players who would be affected. Dan, I can't actually tell you which of those places. I can tell you on that list, those are places that are possible. The EU is a possible place. The UK is possible. Until the audit is done, will I actually have an answer for you? I decided to tell all of our GMs and our users early rather than wait when we only had 5 days of notice before it happens, because I didn't want it to come out of the blue. So until we have more information, I can only give you what I also have, which is a list of places that could be affected by tax. Let's see. Before we get into that, we have a question. Going back to Gen Con, when will the party on Thursday be happening? It'll be happening that evening, like 6-ish, I believe. Okay, I'm gonna put this other image into on the screen. This is the impact of our landing pages. So this is just organic traffic day over day. You can kind of tell like when we launched them. We launched the first. You'll see that there's like this little tiny hill that we hit, and then this big spike. That's when we really ramped up all the content on those pages and started loading in game listings. Um, so this is kind of like the effect of not only what our blog, not our blog, our landing page project. But the blog project will be supporting this. So we're creating a lot of articles that will be linking to these different category pages, and we'll hope to see this drive this even further. La, la, la. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, love to see it. Um, okay, let's see. Next, um, let's see. Okay, specific system ads. So a lot of times I see people like, hey, why doesn't Start Playing do more specific system ads? We actually have a campaign that's going right now that we will be doing that to also leverage our new landing pages. But I wanted to give you some insight into kind of the strategy earlier on why we usually avoid system-specific ads. So if you were to advertise just Vampire the Masquerade, you've niched down quite a bit, and sometimes that can be really powerful. Sometimes that can help a lot, and so we're going to be using hyper targeting for things like that, like on Reddit, and hyper targeting on like YouTube based on specific channels that we think this would overlap with. But if I was just using a top of funnel conversion ad or a mid-funnel conversion ad for Vampire the Masquerade, it doesn't convert as well as a D&D. Now, there's also the idea of like a tabletop RPG, using that as the general moniker, right? People that know D&D that don't know TTRPG or tabletop role-playing games, they don't have an association with those two. So when you do D&D, you can target, of course, the person who's interested in D&D, but they don't know about these other systems. The person who does know D&D, folks like yourselves, are also the ones that are going to see in a game like, oh, there's on this ad, like, oh, this screenshot has more than just D&D. So they're going to know that it surfaces that as well. What we see is around 60% of games that are booked from our ads are for D&D, and the other 40% are for other game systems. So a D&D ad converts other game systems almost as well as it does for D&D. It's around 60-40. That's better than most individual ads that we've done that's on a conversion basis. So that kind of helps give you some insight into like why we've made those decisions. But we're trying a new technique, and we're going to be trying it for 2 weeks, and we're putting a pretty sizable budget behind it. But we're going to be running unique brand awareness ads on YouTube, and we're going to be running traffic ads on Reddit, and we're going to be running brand awareness ads on Instagram. The Instagram will be awareness, which is top of funnel, right? There's no conversion goal, which essentially is we're just trying to see who's going to be interested in this content so that we can retarget them later with a actual conversion ad set. So right now we're just going to try to like essentially expand our top of funnel with anyone who's interested in these different systems. So we're going to be launching with, I believe, 13 systems total, 13 to 19, but it's like Alien, Monster of the Week, Starfinder, Lancer, etc. And that will all be launching on the 22nd. And that should be pretty exciting. Yes, because people haven't heard it. Yeah, but shouldn't it's one of those things where I get to ask this a lot, and so I always want to like kind of explain why, because I don't want people to think that we're just ignoring these other systems. We put a lot of work. I mean, our landing pages alone have brought in folks into the platform for these other systems, because we understand like there's so much value in all games, and so I want to be really clear on like some of the decisions that we make. Hey, chill out. Chill out. Be cool. Be cool. Oh my gosh. She's got a lot of feelings today, team. Okay. So that's kind of why we normally don't have a ton of non-D&D ads, and why D&D seems to be the focus of so many ads, because it does just do well for all systems. But we are trying this hyper-specific approach in a new a new approach, which is hyper-specific target communities using Reddit. Which Reddit normally we haven't seen huge um, gains as far as an ads platform, as an organic platform. It's been fantastic, but we're going to try this again because things change. Um, da, 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 da. Yes, Shinnis, you're right. There is a lot of ancient Discord lore wrapped up in it for sure. Um, Olaf says, "Question: Does search discriminate between D&D and D&D, Dungeons and Dragons in the game title, or does search for one show all of them?" So for our search, it is exact title. So if you do DND with the letter N, it won't show D and D. Um, but if you do D and D in D&D as in your title, it'll show. But here's the thing: I don't think a lot of people are searching D&D. People are searching specific systems, play by post. Um, they're searching genres. They're searching GM names, things like that. But they're not really searching D&D. They're searching like beginner. That's a big thing they search. Um, so yeah. Okay. Next up, new PDP. What's a PDP? A PDP is a product description page. What's a product description page? Your game listing when you make a new adventure. That is a product description page. That product description page is what people see when they are on search and they click into a game listing. That is a product description page. Now, we have a fantastic new designer on the team, Nina. Nina has been putting together a bunch of research on the updated product description page. New designs are coming out soon. I am so pumped after reading her product reference document, or Nina's product reference document. I was really impressed. I'm excited to share with you when we have more, but we hopefully will be making a higher converting product description page. In some ways, we'll be measuring this as, are we seeing more conversions on the product description page, or are we actually seeing the same amount of conversions but less time on product description pages because people are getting the information they are looking for faster. Nina talked to a bunch of players about how they find their games, what they look for, how they use search, what they look for on the game listings. And that'll also mean we're going to change some of the game template, which means you'll have to update some things. We will be probably launching this first on the GM side, so you can go and update this stuff, and then later launching it on the player side so that you don't have to go and update everything at once. But this could be things like a home brew mechanics section. So like, what are certain mechanics just for your game? Listen to that. That's important to players. With a number of other things that are very important to players who are looking for games. And these are things that they often have to message to the GM to ask for. And so if we can find more ways to answer these questions up front, that means more bookings for you. And that should be pretty exciting. I personally love anything that improves our conversion rate. So this project I am obsessed with. Yeah, and in chat, yes, our designer is also named Nina. Okay, that is the product description page. Cool. That's everything we have today outside of just time for other Q&A and, of course, any more questions folks have on taxes. So we got a quick 20 minutes left for any of that. Give me one sec, though. Boop. Boom. What questions do we have, team? What's going on today? Um, some other games that will be part of the promo is Fabula Ultima, The One Ring, Call of Cthulhu, Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay, Blades in the Dark. These are just some of the games you can expect to see in the campaign. Alien, the role-playing game. Star Wars, the Fantasy Flight games. Pathfinder. Okay. Question. When will the audit be completed so that information on affected locations is known? Probably closer to May 1st. We still also have to get things routed up on the API side, but what you'll be able to do once that's done is you actually be able to go in, you can put in your zip code. Because here's the thing, it's going to be like 30,000 different rates because it depends on state, country, and county. So some counties have their own. Some counties are going to be exempt. So it's not going to be like a single amount. Like it's so variable. But you'll be able to also see when you go through on the checkout process, you can put in whatever zip code you want or whatever territory code, and it'll show what applies to that. Nina, when are we getting markdown formatting in game descriptions? Please. Also, congrats on becoming dead. Thank you so much. So, Nina, the other Nina, has been looking at this. The big thing is we don't want pages to become like a MySpace page where there's so much editing that nothing looks cohesive. So we're probably going to be making some changes to the game template to allow for more cohesion. But there could be some more things like bullet pointing that will be included in maybe some future markdown, but that's still being explored. Probably in a week or two, I can maybe give you a better answer on that. Neil, any progress on being able to charge set prices in the EUR, GDP, or other currencies? News of panic. So right now, that's actually a huge limitation on the Stripe side. If we go ahead and we actually upgrade on some of our Stripe processes, we can be able to do local currency and then pay in local currency. So you can charge in GDP and get paid in GDP or Great British Pound. Yeah. But we are trying to hold off on that until like it's absolutely necessary. We'll probably look more at localization and see like where we can grow internationally with users first and then kind of build around that. Okay. Yes, ask me in 2 weeks. Okay. Is that it? No more questions? Oh, Jerry, question. I imagine you hear this all the time, but I'm new to start playing games and struggling to get noticed by players. Can you share one quick tip that I can focus on trying? I'm running out of ideas myself. Jerry, have you taken the onboarding? If you haven't taken the onboarding, that's the first thing you should do. Is take that onboarding. That onboarding has 100 ideas in there on how to get started. So Jerry, first you answer in chat. Let me know, have you taken the onboarding? And if not, I'll go to the next thing. Jonathan, no, that was to Nina, Jonathan. Sorry, that wasn't to you. No, but I will tell you this: there's 3 huge projects on a horizon. 3 huge projects. Internationalization is one of them. The other 2 is kids games and then in-person solution. Those are the 3 big projects that we will be exploring. Jason Richardson, any progress on being able to update prices without relisting the entire game? Jason, you can relist your prices right now without having to list the game. You can just go to the adventure dashboard and you just change the price. You don't have to. The only reason you have to relist the game is if the game is free. But yeah, you can go and you can change the sign-up price to your game at any time. Oh, Valentine. Okay. Let's see. Hunter was super helpful there. Okay, Jerry, so you've taken the onboarding. Great. So first, go into the GM Discord and start reading the listing feedback forums. Look at the other people in the games that they've posted and see the feedback they're getting. See what feedback you can integrate. Also, lean on your early players. Have some people who've already played with you before be your ringers. Be your, have them fill a couple seats to get started. Because social proof is huge. Once you have your first campaign on Start Playing, it's a lot easier. But once you get like a buddy or 2 buddies to come and play in your game, give them a seat for free, and then have some other folks come in. Maybe run a one-shot, right? But you start to kind of build up your community because you already have some. You have this community. You have these players that have already played with you. So lean on that. That's incredibly helpful. And then also continue to make sure you use the listing feedback form. But before you post your own games, read everyone else's because there's so much valuable feedback there. Okay, let's see. Are we getting filters by language soon? Maybe. We're going to be doing some ways to explore internationalization to kind of get a beat on what would be valuable. Because here's like GM side, there's a lot of international GMs. But where are we going to see international growth on the player side? We want to make sure we're focused our energy really, really clearly. Um, uh, Question: will sales tax be calculated based on the USD price listed, or on the price per players paying and the price converted to their local USD? It'll be in USD. Um, that's huge. I was considering bringing in my IRL players at a 100% discount with a couple of paying strangers. That was unsure if that was a bad move. No, Simple Fox is a great move. But also, go ahead and use the Add Player tool. We will. I wouldn't use the mark them down to 100% off. I would use the Add Player tool if they are officially seat fillers. Um, let's see. I left phone seats for folks. It's huge. Okay, great. Let's see. Did I miss anything else? Chris winning kids games are the best. The stuff they come up with is amazing. Absolutely. As a father, how can I not do kids games now, right? Oh my gosh. La la la. Let's see what else we have. DM Dan, only downward, not more expensive. So you can't raise the price for someone who's already signed up. But after we did a bunch of user research with players, like, hey, who've left games to go and rebook in the game, that's not considered like a burden for them. They like a lot of players who've done that, they're completely okay with it. So the idea of making a product to make that easier when right now it's not a actual friction for players just didn't make sense. DM Dan, badges win. It could be sooner than I thought. There's something on a list that Nate, my co-founder and the head Start Playing boss, put on a note. It says badges. I don't know what it's about. But I'm talking to him on Friday about it. So, let's see. La, 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 la. Okay, I think that's it. Is there anything else on this list? This big old list of stuff. Let me go and look at some other pages. Let's see. Look at my Notion page, see if there's anything interesting in here to bring up to all of you. I'm going to go to. Let's look at FounderSync. Anything interesting happen? Please drop the gossip on the Discord after the convo. See what happened last week. Did anything interesting happen? Any PDP redesign, core directory page, the review page, Magicify, SEO preview, unlaunching starter set, platform VTT pages, genre landing pages, mechanic landing pages, GM applications, transactional emails. Let's see, titles. Daring to press, music. Yeah, okay, so yeah, there's nothing else there. I've covered everything today. Jonathan, is SPG killing it as hard as it feels at the moment? Because it feels like y'all are knocking out of the park. We've made a lot of decisions that have kept Start Playing healthy. Here's the big thing is, even though there's a lot of economic uncertainty, Start Playing is in a very solid place that we will be able to make sure that our GMs can weather it. We don't foresee the economic winds and the uncertainty right now affecting the stability of the platform. And we are continuing to see growth. We're seeing new players still come at a rate that I'm still surprised that we still have new players coming at this rate. And then we still see people rebooking at like really high rates. So I think I can say like, yes, we're still killing it. But that means our GMs are killing it. That's really what it boils down to. Um, ba, 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 ba. Neil, how do shorter games like 2 hour sessions perform outside the context of Star Set? No clue. But I will tell you this 2 to 3 hours is the most commonly booked game time range. Um, Chris Whitting, will there be vetting on who's allowed to run a Of course there's going to be vetting. There's going to be so much. The thing is, there's going to be a lot of COPA compliance, and there's going to be a lot of Coca Cabana that'll go into the outline of kids games. In fact, kids games probably won't even show up in search. It'll probably be a separate section of the website. There's a lot of considerations. One of the reasons we haven't done yet is such a big project that we want to make sure that we like really do a lot of other solid work, and we build up a team that we can have a separate team dedicated to that. So we're not slowing down on other work for the rest of the platform, for the rest of the GM. So we want to make sure we have at least 2 big enough teams to be able to like focus on this huge project and focus on our core product. Will we hear more about who will be involved in the Darrington Press event? Folks who have signed up for the recruitment form should hear back sometime this week. There's always money in the banana stand. Lots of things need their own sections, yeah. Okay, cool. Wicked, I work with kids, and the amount we have to put into keeping up to date, working with children and police history checks, yep, all that stuff. Yes, schools do background checks for chaperones and field trips. So let me tell you like some of the stuff that happens when we decide to do a project like this. One, we'll have a team internally that is, dedicated to it. But then we're going to go out and we're going to talk to people who have also done marketplace, companies like ours that have done something with children, and ask like, what have they done? What were the best things to know? And then we also work with our compliance team. They're like, hey, what are all the things that we need to be compliant in if we're going to be doing this? So we talk to industry experts, we talk to compliance folks, and that helps lay a groundwork for an outline around it. And that helps guide like our decisions when we move forward, because we have not only experts in it, but experts who've done it, and then experts whose job is to make sure that you're compliant on the like ops side of things. Question, SPG page for things like corporate team building events. Yes, it's startplaying.teams.games. It's on the homepage. Okay. Let's see. I think we did a team. We made it. I hope you have a fantastic Tuesday, and I will likely see you all in the Discord. And I will probably be, we might be doing office hours next week. If not, we'll be doing the one after that. Midnight Brewer, there's nothing exists for kids games yet. We haven't even built it. I can't answer that quite. I mean, there's probably going to be tons of stuff like this, but there's nothing built. It's just an idea right now. So I don't have an answer for that. But keep in mind, as I talk about like how we build these things, we talk to industry experts and compliance experts to kind of figure out how we will be executing on these kind of things. But I can't say what we've built because we haven't built anything yet. Okay. Thanks so much, y'all, and I will see you all in the Discord. Be well, team. Bye.
We've come on down to the tavern for trouble and for fun, and to talk about the old prophecy. And we all sing songs at the tavern of the fights that we have won, and we dream about our next victory. Come away, adventure calls today, and tomorrow we'll tell of our tale. Come away, we'll see that dragon slain, but before we go, let's drink one more ale. Well, we won't deep